Hello everyone, this is Pornman973 and welcome to a very special Working at Wendy's update. I've officially gone back to work. It's been hit and miss this past week. I've technically worked 4 days back. There was the first day I went in, I worked for a couple hours and it wasn't too bad. And then I worked Thursday, and I worked 2.5 hours. By the end of the 2.5 hours, I was hurting pretty badly. My left side is not nearly as strong as my right side, and it becomes tired extremely easily. And I was walking to and forth trying to keep our lobby clean and all that sort of stuff. And it just, it ended up, and I just dragged my leg home, and I was in a little bit of pain, but otherwise it wasn't too bad. Then I had a day off on Friday, and then I worked Saturday for 2 hours. 2 hours. I worked 3 to 5. And it wasn't too bad. We actually had so few employees at that time that we had to close the lobby. We just didn't have enough employees to run both the lobby and the drive-thru. So we ran basically through the drive-thru, and I worked the drive-thru window for quite some time. And my nose itches. And I mostly did cash, but when I work, I pretty much go everywhere, and so I did a little bit of fries, a little bit of bagging, a little bit of order taking, and cash and stocking, and we basically had no time because all our customers were coming through the drive-thru, so the drive-thru never stopped. So we never had a break. We were trying to take orders, get food, get drinks, hand stuff out, stock our stuff because we're running out of stuff. It was basically just chaotic. And then there was today, Sunday, the June 26th. I worked for 4 hours. It was very hard for me. There was tons and tons and tons of people happened to work during the lunch rush, and I've been still having a lot of trouble with my anxiety, and I had at least 3 breakdowns. 2 weren't so bad. I ended up having to just walk away. At one point, I had to sit down and cover my ears because all the noises, every single noise was just so irritating, and I couldn't stand it, so I just covered my ears until another time I was shaking violently, and I practically fell into a corner until I stopped shaking. And then I had one, this was the big one, where I couldn't actually physically look at other people because when I saw them, my anxiety instantly went whoop, and I just was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And I'd have to walk and hide, and it wasn't all that great because we were super busy. They needed my help, and I needed to help, and I kept trying to go back, forcing myself to go back. And every single time I would see other people, or at one point I managed to make it all the way up to the front counter, and one of my coworkers brushed my arm, and I'm like, ah! and I had to run away again. And just had to take, the deep breaths, and finally I was able to calm myself down enough that I was able to finish my shift. And I was having some trouble with my leg, and especially my back and my arm that day, this day, or whatever day. It's 11:40. It's almost tomorrow. So, but when I'm recording this, one is I had a problem with my shoulder. Just did again. I would reach out, and my shoulder and my elbow would lock in place like this, and I would have to force it to go back into place. It's very painful, very uncomfortable, and it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is not pleasant. At the end of my 4-hour shift, I had 6 minutes to go, and I'm making a Frosty, and suddenly my back says, I'm done. And I just, luckily there was like a wall right next to me, and I leaned up ended up thudding up against it, and then just kind of going down to the ground. I did my best to keep the Frosty so that it wouldn't spill, because that would have been a nasty mess, and I didn't want to get covered in chocolate Frosty. And I just sat there for a second, and I handed the Frosty off because it was the last thing needed on an order, and they did that, and then I had to basically use whatever strength I had in my arms. I reached up and I had to reach really high with this hand to grab hold of the counter, that because it hides the Frosty machine from the customers. And I reached up and grabbed that, and I reached up and grabbed the front counter here, and I had to physically drag myself back into a standing position. By then I was done, but I had 6 minutes left, and my manager said, "What time do you go home, Daniel?" I said 3 o'clock, and it was, like 2 minutes till, and he says, "Why don't you just go home?" So that's what I did. I clocked out and very painfully hobbled my way to my car and went home. Then I painfully got home, went and basically dragged myself up the stairs and took some Tylenol. So I'm back to work. I work tomorrow, and I work Tuesday. Past that, I have no idea. I guess it's been okay. I'm still and now after today, I'm questioning why on earth did I ever go back. Oh, it's probably because I need money to pay for surgery, so I won't be in much pain. And I'm gonna keep trying. I gotta do something. I have to make at least a little bit of money until I can get on disability. I'm still waiting for the court date. I still need to contact a lawyer. It's been a big mess and a big pain, but anyway. Thank you for joining me for this special update for working at Wendy's. This has been Poor Man 973, and I hope you all have a nice day.